What we're going to do today is we're going to, in a sense, solve rational inequalities. So it's like rational functions, except they're inequalities, and so they're going to be a little different. There's sort of multiple types of answers. The first thing that has to be done is we set one side to 0. It's not going to be equal to 0 because it's either less than or a greater than. Notice, on problem 1, is that already done? Is one side 0? Yes. The other thing we have to do is this here, we need everything to be in what I call a fraction form, which probably means I'm going to need to add a what? Common denominator. I don't have to on this one because I have one side to 0 and it's already all in a what? Fraction what? Form. The next thing you would have to do would be factor. But guess what? We're not going to have to factor today because they're already all going to be what? Factored. That's why I kind of wrote 3's kind of in different colors of green here, because we're really not going to have to do what? Number what? 3. But you may have some problems, you know what I'm saying, higher level math, college, where that happens. Okay? So on this first problem here, the first 3 are already what? All done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to now set each factor equal to guess what? 0. So here's what I'm going to do. I have an x minus 7 equals 0, and I have a what? X minus 1 equals 0. Well, just kind of going back up here and kind of go with what you said. Basically, they're inside liars, or if you need to solve it, you would actually what? Add 7 to each side, so x equals what? 7. And here I would add what? 1 to each side, so x equals what? That's why they work out, they're always inside liars, because they're just going to be what? The opposite of what they were. Metrics are right. So here's what I know. Yeah? And I have this little number line graph thing here to help me understand. This is something I kind of did to help me. So here's what I know. I know that 1 and 7 are going to be numbers that are part of the solution, or numbers close to it, above it, middle, or whatever. So how do I know which numbers actually work? Well, here's what I need to know. I'm going to come over here. Notice I have a 0 right here already, right? So I'm going to pick 1. Where would 1 be? About right here. And 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to go ahead and make a mark for 7. I'm going to make a mark for 8 here, just to kind of, because I don't have quite enough lines on here. Here's what I know. Notice, is this has a bar on it, correct? So that means that the solution can equal 0, correct? It can equal 0. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to come up here to this 7. If I have a 7 in my problem, what does 7 minus 7 make the numerator be? And it doesn't matter what's down here as long as it's not 0, because 0 divided by anything is always what? So is 0 part of the solution? Yes. So if it is, I'm going to color in my dot. In other words, 7 is part of the solution. But when I come here and put in the 1, now 1 was the denominator. What happens if I put a 1 here? What's 1 minus 1? 0. Can I divide by 0? No. So that means 1 is not part of the solution, but all the numbers close to 1 what? Will work, but 1 will not. So what I'm going to do now is this. That's what this is talking about right here. I got a number line. I kind of identified. And here's what I wrote down. The bottom is always open, meaning the denominator. Plus, I use the word denominator, but why will the denominator never be colored in? Why can the denominator never be colored in? Because what can your denominator never be? 0. So the denominator will always be open. And the only time I color this one in is if it does have a bar here, which indicates it's what? Equal to. If there's no bar, all of them will be what? Open. Everybody got it? So I call open circles. But what I don't know is this. I don't know if my answers are left of this one, in the middle of it, or to the right of it. Everybody got that? So how can I find out? Here's what I call pick a number. Pick a number thing. Pick any number in the world, but I really don't want to do that. I want to pick a number what I call left of my number here. Well, what's an easy number left of here? 0, correct? I need to pick a number between 1 and 7. I need to pick a number in the middle. Now I'm going to tell you this here. Probably the best number to pick in the middle, because I worked it out earlier. Somebody just picked a number, and I got lucky, was 4. 4 is a good number to pick. You'll see why in a minute, okay? I also need to pick a number what I call right of the last one. So what's a number right of 7? 8. So I'm going to pick 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to pick 8. And what you do is you plug these numbers into the problem to what? To see whether their answers are what? Make it true or not. Now here's the next thing I'm going to do. So I'm going to come up here, and I'm going to write this down because it helps me know what I'm looking for. Notice this number is 0, right? And this is smaller than 0. So does that mean to be true, am I looking for positive numbers, positive answers, or negative answers? Less than 0 is what kind of answers? No, not positive. I'm looking for what I call what? Negative answers. Now here's what's really nice, okay? As a math teacher, I say, come over here, put 0 in this problem, do 0 minus 7 and 0 minus 1. Notice I just kind of wrote them right there because that's really what? Got this nice whiteboard and really what? Super easy, right? But what's negative? That means that would be a minus 7 and minus 1, right? So it's kind of, so if I have 0, what's negative 7 divided by negative 1? Makes a what? Positive what? 7. Was that a negative answer? So that means what? 8 is what? Not a what? Solution, right? So I might come over here and try 4. So let's come over here, and I'll put, so I got these nice colors. Let's put 4 in here, right? What's 4 minus 7? It's what? Negative 3, and 4 minus 1 is what? Hey, what's negative 3 divided by positive 3? It's a what? Negative what? 1. I'm looking for negative answers, so is that true? Yeah, so that means what? The numbers between here are what? Good numbers, right? So let's test this last one out. Let's test the 8. Let's test the 8. 8 minus 7 is what? 1. And 8 minus 1 is what? 7. Now it's a fraction, but what kind of fraction is it? Positive or negative? Positive, and I'm not looking for positive, I'm looking for what? So I kind of marked it wrong. I should have marked the 0 wrong with the red, right? Should have marked this one wrong with the black and this one wrong with the what? The red. Okay, correct. Marked the wrong ones, but we got it here. So I'm looking for numbers that are what? In the middle are correct. But here's what I would have done. Yeah? I would have gone to my calculator. When I got it here, when I have it right here, and I'm looking for negative, you know what I would have done? I would have cheated. It's not cheating if you have a calculator. Now y'all can kind of erase this right here so we can see it. I picked numbers what? 0, 4, and what? 8, right? So let's go here, let's turn our calculator on. Let's go to my y equals, clear that out of there. Now y'all, I really like this feature someone told me about. I'm going to hit the second alpha y equals, and I want to put it in fraction denominator form, right? And I'm going to put this x minus 7 here, arrow down to the bottom, put what? X what? Minus 1. Everybody see that? And I can hit the graph and look at it. And it looks like to me there's an asymptote at 1. Well, that makes sense because what's 1 minus 1? 0. And that would make a what? But here's what's really cool. Go to second table. And notice what do you see at 1? You see the word what? Error. Which tells me that's got to be what? Open what? Circle. So here's what I know. What kind of answers was I looking for? Negative. Notice. Look at 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. They're what? They're negative. So they're good answers. What happened at 7? I got what? 0. Is 0 a solution? Yeah, it can equal 0 still, right? But look what happened at 8. If I go down here to 8, 1/7. That's what I got, wasn't it? Which is what? Positive, which is not a solution. And if I go to 0 over here, notice those were also what? Positive. Didn't I get the same answer? 7, negative 1, and 1/7? So like to me, like with the calculator, I probably would do that because now I'm just looking for what? Negative and what? Positive. Looking for the negative ones to know which ones. So my answer is between 1 and what? 7. So how do I write it? Well, is 1 a solution? No. Is 7 a solution? Yes, but we're going to write it in what I call that college form with our brackets. So I'm going to have a 1, comma 7. Is 1 part of the solution? No. So it has to be a parentheses. Is 7 part of the solution? Yes, so it has to be a what? And make a very good bracket, but it has to be a what? A bracket. Everybody see that? So that's how I would do this first problem. I would do it kind of like that. I would use the calculator to make the work a little bit what? Easier.